Hello and welcome, my bald and bearded friends. Today the review of Varanti Bro, another real cheap dupe fragrance I bought at the store called The Action here in the Netherlands. Online you can find it for 9 till 14 euros per 100 mils, and in the store, in The Action, you can find it for, I think, around 4. I'm not that sure anymore what I paid for it, but I think around 4 euros. First of all, of course, the design, was pretty interesting to me. It looked like a light bulb, and I thought, what would this one smell like? So let's talk about it. It's fresh, sweet with some cinnamon. For this one and for most Varanti fragrances, it's quite hard to find a real note breakdown. It's just really not on the internet, it seems. For Varanti Bro, it's quite interesting, quite funny. Is that everywhere online it's stated exotic fragrance with a minimalist bottle. And that's all of the description of the fragrance, so I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest. We'll spray a little bit on, not too much. If you're familiar with Hugo Boss bottled EDT, or perhaps even the Intense, you know what this is a dupe of. In a real watered down, real cheap sense, it's a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet, a little bit of the apple cinnamon, apple spice scent kind of vibe, but nowhere near as distinctive or interesting or well put together like the Hugo Boss bottled. It's quite nice the first seconds, which is of course with all fragrances, because people tend to spray them on and just for the first seconds and then decide to buy a fragrance most of the time in the store. But it's very, very weak. It lasts around, what will it be, just one spray, I guess, around 10-20 minutes. Becomes a skin scent pretty much right away, so kind of no projection at all. If you would spray this one very much on your skin, on your neck, on your hands, on your wrists, on your elbows, on your shirt or whatever, I guess it will last a couple hours perhaps, with a little bit of projection. I guess the sillage will be a little bit more, but not too much. It is real weak dupe of Boss bottled. For the price, I guess, if you're a teenager, it's a nice scent. It's not you should spray it very heavily, and for the price I guess you could, but I personally would not recommend this one for most people. Just if you want a fragrance and you're very young, I guess it's a nice one. If you want a very cheap fragrance but not pay too much, if I were you, I would look into Ancre Noir. Sarah Chrome is most of the time really well priced. What's another one, real nice one? A lot of the old school masculine fragrances like Dracar Noir, Curum, all those kind of fragrances. Most of the time pretty cheap, 20-30 euros. Azaro Pour Homme, which I still have to receive at this point. I will go with those and not with this one if you want. But I guess, again, if you spray it really heavily, you can use this one. It's pretty nice, virtually no projection or longevity, or Ciao. Well, that was a review. If you like this kind of fragrances, I have reviewed other Varanti fragrances and Capace, something like that. Reminds me of Caprina, but it's Capace. Have a nice day. Ciao.